Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope all is well with you. You're on the move with JoAnna Ward. Yours truly. Today I'm going to be working with you guys on some very, very basic tips that you can do on your mat with your weights. Again, keep it simple, sensible, and yet still sustainable. All you need is a mat or a towel and some peace and some tranquility, and you're going to say, woosah! Don't call me on the phone. Don't call me to cook. Don't call me to do anything. Let me have my time and my space. It doesn't take a lot. Remember, a little bit of something is better than none of nothing. So block out your 10 minutes and your space. And when I mean your space, I mean the space where you are sitting, not just physically, but a space and a place for just 10 minutes where nobody can interrupt you at all. Okay, are you there? Of course, I'm interrupting you because I'm showing you what we're getting ready to do. What I have now are 5-pound weights, but you can do these exercises without any weights at all. So one of the first things I'm going to show you how to do is you're going to sit at an angle here. And I'm sitting at an angle here because I want you to be able to see me from the side. This particular exercise here is designed to take off the impact and add intensity through your core, right down through your pelvic area, all the way up through your shoulders and chest. So you're going to take your weights to the right and then back to the left, to the right and back to the left, to the right and back to the left. Now you can either time these exercises or you can count them. You want to start off with no less than 25 and you want to go up to 50. After 50, you want to see how many of those you can do in 1 minute, and then 75 seconds, and then of course 90 seconds. What am I working? I'm working my arms, my shoulders, my obliques, and of course that lower pudge. Here I'm isolating my legs and keeping them toned while I'm moving side to side. And again, this is a seated exercise, but the intensity is toning and defining. I'm not having to use a machine. I don't have to have a whole lot going on. All I need is the time, space, and the commitment to do it. Okay, you guys got that? Again, we'll be showing you these exercises at JoAnnaWardFitness.com in case you missed it. Our next one is going to go here. We're going to lay back. We're going to come up. Inhale, exhale. Now I call these a row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat gently down the gym. Merrily, 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 merrily. Your body's going to be slim. So you row, row, row your boat here. Now, if the weights are too heavy, you can actually do your rows. What I like for my advanced people to do is what I call a full nesty plunge and come up. Plunge and come up. Breathe in and breathe out. So you're making a T out of your body and bringing it all the way back up. But the basic one is row, row, row your boat in your living room. The weight will be down and you'll be trim very, very soon. And you're just moving in and out. Now, if you can't move your feet, if that gets overwhelming, don't quit. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Just like so. All right. You guys got that? It looks easier than what it actually is. So the next exercise I'm going to show you is, again, it's going to be a seated exercise with your knees slightly bent. That's going to take the pressure off of your ligaments and your tendons and your muscles here being straight, pulling on your hams. So we're going to loosen up here. We're going to do what I call a cardio tone, and we do a pump and pedal. Pump and pedal. Pump and pedal. What is this doing? No impact, because I'm not up and around and running. I'm actually seated. I'm toning my legs, the lower abs, as well as the back part of my arms. Without weights, you go here. Tap my toe. I get tired, just going to go straight to the arms. You should be, if you're doing this with me, you should be feeling that right through here because of the work that it takes to stay up like this and move your legs. If you have your weights, you're going to take those over your head. You're going to make sure you go all the way down at the joint of the elbow. Pump and pedal. Pump and pedal. Pump and pedal. Just like so. How many have you done? I hope you've done something. And again, this is your space. I'm telling you that depending on what you do, how strategic it is and how targeted it is, and I'm going to stop doing that because I'm actually getting ready to start sweating, and how targeted it is, you don't need a whole lot of time. All you need is about 10 minutes to really tighten and tone your body. You don't have to do a lot. You just have to know what you're doing with the time that you have. So the same thing is a pump and pedal with delts, which is this posterior arm here. And the reason I like to do the combo is because The more aspects of exercise, cardio, toning, sculpting, flexibility, balance that you can add into your workout, the more beneficial it's going to be to your entire body. So our next one is going to be here with the weights. Pump and pedal. All the way up past the shoulder, all the way back down to the waist. Not here, not here, not flapping, but this stays here the whole time. Up, down, up, down. When I add the pedal, it looks like this. All the way up, all the way down. Inhale, exhale. And I'm breathing. And again, no less than 25 right here, okay? Once I get to 50, then I'm going to start with that 1 minute. How many can I do in 1 minute? How many can I do in 75 seconds? How many can I do in a minute and a half? All right. I'm tired. I don't want to do anymore. Just kidding. I still have plenty of time. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to come back like so. We're not going to do pedals. We're going to do my mic. We're going to do actually leg drops. I'm going to stay on my elbows because I don't want to squish the mic. So we're going to go down. And the key is to keep 1 foot up. Beginners, people, you guys are going to bend your knees here, okay? And tap, and tap. Advanced people, we're here. This is straight abs, core, especially lower abs. Always keep your feet together, drop, together, drop, together, drop, together, drop, together. And again, my beginner people, you're going to bend your knees. Bring the feet together, 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 together. Okay? That's going to work the lower abs. It's an abdominal workout without doing necessarily any sit-ups. The next one that we're going to do is designed to sculpt and tone right through here. So you can use one or both of your weights. And what we call this one is a tuck and roll. You're going to tuck here and roll all the way back, dropping the elbow behind you, tuck under there, and roll, okay? So again, you're gonna drop this elbow here beneath the opposite arm, bring it all the way back up here. What this is gonna do is sculpt this entire circumference around your waistline, okay? So let's do a few. Right here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. The thing about doing things on a right and left, make sure you do the other side. I'm only going to do about 10 more. Told you can get fit in 10 minutes. 2 and 1. So let's switch. Always know what side you started on because sometimes people do the same side over again. So again, it's the same thing. I'm up on my elbow. I'm not laying flat because I need the space to dip into. So I'm going to come here, make sure that my knees are stacked. This is going to work through here. I'm going to take this entire fist with my weights, dip under, inhale, open up. Exhale, inhale, open up, okay? So you grab your weights, tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. Tuck. Just like so. And I'm going to do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Where you at? You on 4? 3 more. 2 and 1. So there you go. That's only 15, but your goal is at least 25. It may not seem like a lot right now, but if you do that 3 times a week or 3 or 4 minutes a day, you're going to begin to see your body transform itself because of the sculpting and the toning. And I want to show you guys one more exercise. And the reason that we do this, the reason that we're doing On the Move is because we want you to get up. We want you to get moving. We care about you. We want you to see how simple it is to be fit and healthy, to take care of your heart, to take care of your body, which is a temple. So the next exercise we're going to do is one in which you're here. Now, if you have issues with kneeling, you can get a towel or a pillow and put this right here. But you're going to have your hands flat like so. And this is also for your obliques and for sculpting and toning your legs. We're going to take it out to the side here, bring it back in, and we're going to switch up out, bring it back in, and down. Take it up, take it out, bring it in, and down. Take it up, out, bring it in, and down. Always take it up. Some people just kind of like, just go through the motions, but this is all about strategy. Simple, sensible, sustainable strategy in sculpting and toning your body so that the muscles will isolate themselves and produce the results that you want. So again, that's going to be up, out, bring it back in, and then take it down. Again, up, out, in, and down. Up, out, in, down. Up, out, in, down. Shoulders, abs, obliques, glutes. Everything is involved, believe it or not. Protect your knees with a pillow or something like that. Again, up, out, in, down. Now, if you don't want to complicate it by going side to side, stay on the same side. Just stay on the same side. Do your 10, come back to the other side, 10. And before you know it, you've gotten through your 25 or even 30 or 50. But those are several exercises that you can do. It's going to get your heart rate up. It's going to sculpt and tone your muscles. You're going to really feel like you did more than what it looks like you did. And like I said, it's all about consistency and adding multiple layers of exercise, flexibility, balance, sculpting, toning, cardio, all in the same minute of exercise. You don't have to, like get 25-pound weights. You can use your own body weight to sculpt and tone. And again, it's all about being consistent and doing. Perfect practice does not make perfect. I played basketball at South Carolina State University, and our coach taught us that practice doesn't necessarily make you perfect, which means I can go to the gym 5 hours a week and still not be doing anything that's going to necessarily help me improve upon who I am, my heart condition, my cardio, or even the physical attributes of what I want to do. So just going and kind of trotting on a treadmill, you actually be better off going home and doing some sculpting and toning exercises, walking around your neighborhood where there's at least leverage and heels where you can actually change your weight and change the intensity. But you have to switch it up, you have to mix it up, and it has to be challenging in order for it to change you. And I'm not just talking about your physical body. I mean change the way you see yourself, what you believe you can do, the way you see the limits that you've set on yourself. Every time you challenge yourself, every time you do something that you think you can't do, it unlocks some limitation in your mind, and you see things differently. You see things more simple. You know what? I actually can do that. I thought I couldn't, but once I tried it, I realized that I am able, I am capable, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's right. It's all about faith and fitness and getting yourself together from the inside out. Hey, I'm going to go wipe all the sweat off. I'm not going to take a full shower, like maybe a bird bath like you would do at lunch, and I'll be right back and talk to you about some more good stuff in faith and fitness. Did you catch your breath? You're back on the move with JoAnna Ward. I hope you enjoyed that exercise segment. We're all cleaned up now, and I am here with Dr. Kenneth Mosely, who's going to give us the 7 living principles to living healthy in his new book. And he has a lot of treats to help us get this thing right. Welcome, Dr. Mosely. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your expertise. You have 7 principles. I really want to get to the meat of that. But before I do, tell me a little bit about who you are, as if I already don't know.
Well, I primarily go by the name of Ken Mosely. I was raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and after I went to high school in Baltimore, Maryland, Frederick Douglass High School, and then from there I went to Morgan State University, and I completed some time in the military with the ROTC program as an officer, and then I got the opportunity to go to Kansas State University and then Indiana University, where I earned my doctorate. And I worked at South Carolina State University for 30 years and got a chance to meet a lot of awesome students, and you were one of those students.
Hallelujah!
Yes.
I was a diamond in the rough when Dr. Mosely saw me. I was kind of like that single mother going through graduate school and was a former basketball player. But it's so important that we invest in people based on their potential and not where they are, because you just never know where somebody might wind up and whose life you're sowing into. You will reap what you sow, so make sure you sow some good seeds. They just might come back up and talk about your book.
Yes.
So what inspired you to write the 7 Principles of Healthy Living?
What really inspired me to write the book is I had the opportunity to help care for my father and my aunt, and I also helped with my mother for a short period of time. And I looked at their life and I said that if we could do the things that they had to do later on in their life, we would be successful in terms of improving person's health. For example, most people don't change their behaviors until they have a heart attack, a stroke, or diagnosed with diabetes. So I noticed that the doctor put my parents, my aunt, and my father on restricted diets. And that was after they had reached the age, after they had really turned 60. So I said, how would people's lives be improved if they did all of the things that doctors encourage them to do after they have a stroke, after they have a heart attack, or after they are diagnosed with diabetes? So I put together a book. I looked at the things, and I said that the first principle was a person must first decide for themselves that they're going to change their behaviors, because that's what they really are. They are making bad choices, or they're either doing things with comfort foods, or they're not eating or exercising properly because they themselves have not made the decision that they're going to change their behavior. So the first change, or the first principle, is you have to come up with reasons, or a reason that overrides all of the negative behaviors that are causing you to either overeat or not to exercise properly. For my mother and my father, it was they wanted to see future grandchildren. None of my brothers were married. We did not have any children in the early 70s. So my mother, basically we're talking to her. She said, well, the only way I'm going to see children is I've got to live and improve my health. So in the chapter 1, I talk about what my mother did and my father. They wanted to live longer so that they could primarily see children, grandchildren. Now, for me, my reason is I want to live to possibly be 100.
Okay.
So to live to be 100, there are things that I have to do. I have to eat healthier, and I have to exercise. And I took that on as a challenge because my father said no one in our family has ever lived to be 100. So he and I talked about it, and he said, accept that as your challenge to try to reach that goal. And that is my goal. I have had one relative to be 99.
Okay.
My great-grandfather lived to be 96. So there's still room for that first Mosely to live to be 100.
Awesome.
The second principle is you have to have a relationship with God. So I say you have to be prayerful because you can't take on the challenge of improving your health or exercising the way you need to exercise, or if you might want to say changing your behaviors for good reasons if you don't have a good relationship with God. So I say prayer. So prayer will give you the strength to make the changes with your comfort food, to make the changes in exercise. Because as you know, there were 2 young ladies that you worked with at South Carolina State. I think those were your 2 first young ladies, and they were overweight, or they had weight issues, as I say.
Right.
And you work with those individuals, and you prayed with those individuals. So I tell individuals not to make a selfish prayer. I consider like a selfish prayer, God, help me to lose weight because I want to be beautiful. I want to look good.
Right.
I consider that a selfish prayer. But I say things that would be pleasing to God. Like, God, help me to select the foods that will help me to be pleasing in your sight. Or help me, God, to be to exercise more so that I can do good things for you and your people. So prayer is the second principle, and I feel that will help people. The third principle is you have to go to your physician and get what I call a baseline evaluation. Now, why do you want a baseline evaluation? you want to find out what is going on in your body, meaning you want to find out if you're overweight. You want to find out if you have high cholesterol. You want to find out if your blood sugar is too high. So if you just get those basic tests done at your doctor's office, then if he finds out that your cholesterol is high, because that's a risk factor for heart disease,
right,
now that will help you. If you find out that you have high blood pressure, now that's another risk factor. And then you want to also get baseline data probably for cancer, but then the doctor will also get your blood, and that way the doctor will find out if you're deficient in anything like vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin C, or iron. And now that once you find out those things, now your doctor can make recommendations to you as to whether you can begin with a basic nutrition changes, or you need more severe things so that you can bring your cholesterol down. Because a lot of people always say, I don't want to take medication. But you may have to take medication to help you get your cholesterol under control, or your blood pressure, or your blood sugar.
And then apply the diet and the exercise.
There you go. Yes.
And so that's the 3.
Those are 3.
And then?
Now number 4 is you want to increase your knowledge. See, there are a lot of disinformation out there.
Right.
There are people telling you to eat this, eat that.
Don't eat this, don't eat that.
Then they also will tell you what exercise to do. So I tell the 4th principle is you have to increase your own knowledge base. You have to become knowledgeable about what is going on. So I recommend that people review literature on MD. You can look, another program that I sometimes watch is Dr. Oz. Even though everything has commercials, you still want to look at programs that will give you basic information. The internet is there, so you could go to the USDA website, the FDA, and then when you get that information, you want to start looking at what are the healthy foods. So we know that if you look at that material, one of the things you'll see is that it's better to eat a plant-based diet.
Right, absolutely.
For more of your foods. You want to also begin to reduce your meats. For example, one of the things that you can do is trim the fat off of, like if you're a beef eater or steak, you want to trim the fat off of that meat before you even consume it.
Right.
If you like fried chicken or baked chicken, then you want to remove that skin.
That's the good part, so they say.
It is the good. It is the good part.
But
if you want an early death.
It's the
Right, because if you cook that chicken, if you take that skin off of that chicken and you actually cook it down, you will see all of the fat that is actually going into your body.
Right.
So I think when people see that, they will say, okay, if I can remove this skin off the chicken and still grill it, I say that the Foreman grill is one of the best things that a person can make an investment in. Because if you cook bacon or any type of meat that has any type of extra fat in it, it's going to cook some of it down. But my thing is, don't consume it in the first place. But if you must consume that meat, then eat it in smaller portions.
Got it.
And
so maybe just one piece of chicken. So we're just about out of time. We're on 4 principles.
Okay. Well, I'm going to skip 5. The next thing.
Why?
Well,
just
because I want to go to the most important item. Well,
I mean, you don't have to tarry on 5. Just tell us what it is.
5 is make sure you do portion control and eat everything in moderation.
Got it.
So that means if you want to eat a candy bar, they sell these really small candy bars. So you have that, or you even have it. But
portion control.
But don't eat a whole candy bar.
Got it.
The number 6 is develop your personal fitness plan.
Okay.
And mine, what I recommend to people is walking. Walking and then using hand weights, because now you can turn that into an aerobic exercise. Walking is very inexpensive. There's less chance of you injuring yourself. And then you can modify that by with hand weights, and do what I also say is use your body to exercise. So that means you can still do push-ups, sit-ups, you walk for 15 or 20 minutes, then you drop down, do some push-ups or other things to give you that muscle tone. And the seventh item is make sure you understand the politics of food and nutrition, and also in the preparing of your food. And that means you want to prepare your food so that it is healthy. So by that I mean a person can actually drink or consume many of their extra calories through beverages.
Right.
So you want to consume more water. A lot of people don't want to do that, but you can add a little bit of orange juice to it, or lemon or lime, and change the taste of it. So the last thing I want to tell people is you can buy your food over a 4-day cycle instead of buying the food over 7 days. You want to chew your food for at least 10 seconds. You want to make sure that you have everything.
Okay, we're just about out of time. That is the 7 principles of healthy living. Hey, what else do you need other than to get on your knees and use your faith and your fitness to move forward? You're on the move with JoAnna Ward and Dr. Kenneth Mosely. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.